I'm Meg Kinnard, national politics reporter for the Associated Press. On Monday, a group called No Labels launched its official kickoff for the 2024 presidential contest. This is a group that actually got started more than a decade ago, efforting purportedly to find centrist answers to what it perceived as an overt partisan nature in Congress. No Labels was part of getting the Problem Solvers Caucus founded in Congress, something that kind of worked to find a middle-of-the-road answer to a lot of issues that the body faced. But now for 2024, No Labels is working on something that its leaders call a possible bipartisan unity ticket for the presidential race. This comes out of what supporters of this group say is consternation with Republican and Democratic offerings for the nation's top office. But actually putting forth a ticket for the presidency is something that No Labels says it will only do if the nominees for the Republican Party and the Democratic Party are what it considers to be, quote, unreasonably divisive. Part of Monday's rollout are several politicians and former politicians who've played roles in both the Democratic and Republican Party. One of them is former Utah Governor Jon Huntsman, a Republican who sought his party's nomination in 2012. There's also West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin, a centrist Democrat who oftentimes opposes his own party's policy objectives in the Senate and has voted with Republicans on a number of issues. Also supportive of the group and one of its national leaders is former Connecticut Senator Joe Lieberman, who served as a Democrat and then as an independent caucused with Democrats, but actually endorsed Republican Senator John McCain's presidential bid in 2008. Leaders of No Labels insist that they're not seeking to be a spoiler in the 2024 election. But given how close recent presidential contests have been, there is somewhat of a question of whether a major third-party effort could actually affect one of the top Democratic or Republican nominees. No Labels insists that their polling shows that they pull equal numbers of support from Republican and Democratic voters, something they argue shows that they wouldn't necessarily affect one candidate over the other in a general election. But in some states, like Arizona, where President Joe Biden won in 2020 with less than half of a percentage point, there is concern that a third-party effort could perhaps harm his candidacy or the eventual Democratic nominee, if it's not Joe Biden, in the 2024 presidential race.